How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we are wrapping up 2022 with a full tier list of every Yu-Gi-Oh product that's come out this year. Before we begin, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new as always, and let us begin. If you want 5% off any single or sealed product and want to support me and the channel, head over to tierzerogames.com and use code GALZO5 at checkout. So this is the tier list of every Yu-Gi-Oh product released in 2022, except for Speed Duel products, which I didn't include here because it's sort of like a different game, right? We have deck building sets, we have core sets, we have tournament packs, we have collector's sets, which are things like Ghost from the Past, Mama, Hidden Arsenal. We have legendary duelists, we have tins, and we have structure decks as well. So I'm going to be judging based on three criteria. One is the customer value. What is the value at the end of the day that a normal person buying a box or a set of this product actually gets? The longevity, which is how long does this product actually last the person who buys it before being irrelevant or power creeped or something like that. And the meta relevance and the impact on the game, obviously, which is the most important thing when it comes to a trading card game. And we're going to start with the Grand Creators. So I think that looking back on this set, when it first released, obviously, the Adventure Engine was the big thing in everyone's mind. I think the Adventure Engine has seen a lot of competitive play in tops and has also seen the top tier of the meta with Adventure Prank Kids when it was a thing. But not a lot of us actually knew that all of the archetypes in this set, deck building sets released with 3 archetypes, this was Adventure, Exo Sisters, and Punk, all of these would be top tier meta contenders. Adventure Engine, which is still like very, very good, very solid. Punk, which after Prank Kids actually getting the boot and being banned, the Meow Mew, Based actually took over with Halki Firebrex, Punk, Zamin and Deer Note, Emergency Teleport. That was the deck to beat at the time, and this came out of this set. And of course, right now, Exo Sisters winning YCS, very counter meta to Ishizu and Tearlaments, and I think that this set is god tier, to be honest. Think about the longevity of the set. This set was the first product to release in 2022, but still holds up right now with all the cards in the deck being playable at some level at this point. So I think definitely god tier, I would say. Let's go to the next one. We have Battle of Chaos. It has a few notable cards that are Dark, the Dark Charmer, which is obviously incredible. We have Dinomorphia, we have a new Fluon Duriz card, Advent of Adventure. We have things like Guardian Chimera and Illusion of Chaos, which hold their own as like pillars of certain strategies. And besides that, we have things like the Zombie Vampire that saw a little bit of play, but mostly that's it. We have some new Sword Soul support, but mostly we're talking about Dark, Chimera, Illusion of Chaos. This is and the Fluon Duriz support. The set doesn't have enough value as a set. It doesn't have enough within it to be able to buy it and complete some sort of strategy that is actually game relevant. And I think that having those specific small cards like Dark, Illusion of Chaos, Chimera, it's very good, but it's only okay as a set. So I think I don't have to go too much into it. I think you would agree that Battle of Chaos sort of falls between the meh and the only okay. And I'm also going to be ranking them like against each other within the tier. Yeah, I think we're going with only okay for this. The next one, we have OTS Tournament Pack 18. Some things that we have here are Zeus, Fusion Destiny, and Dogmatic Ecclesia's Ultimate Rares, which I think were pretty good. Other cool reprints that we have the Monk of the Tenny as a super rare, Baby Cerosaurus, Dasher, which was really important at the time, relevant to Destiny Hero Phoenix's Force, Token Collector, which was great against Sword Soul. These are pretty solid looking at them now. I think I'm going to put it at only okay as a product right now, below Battle of Chaos, just because it's a tournament pack. But think about your locals experience opening this set, pulling like a token collector. I remember like chasing people after the token collectors because they were so like rare at the time to find and hard to find, and you had to play them in your side deck. So that's kind of crazy, right? Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1. I think it was House of Champs that recently did a video about this, that this set, like a box of the set that I have lying around right behind me, I closed the display box, is I think less than $40 or something like that at the moment. I think the two notable things that this set has going on was having Skill Drain when it was first released from the limited list, and some Naturia stuff. It has some nice reprints, but I think the rarity itself is very contentious. People really don't like it. I think this definitely deserves the trash. I think this set doesn't have any value, any longevity. The reprints and the product is not meta defining or relevant at all. So this is a very good definition of trash, in my opinion. Alba Strike, soft spot in my heart. I've been locked into fusion summons since April 2022. But in all seriousness, I think that when this deck came out, it affected a lot of things in parallel. So Dawn of Majesty came out the year before, at the end of 2021, releasing the Despias, and everybody was kind of talking about, okay, this deck is doing numbers in the OCG, and we're ready for April when the set actually released. And I think it had the desired effect when it actually came out. Despia became a top tier meta contender for a long time, and still is to some degree. Right now we have a very tight top tier list for decks, but Despia remains relevant, and it's all thanks to the structure deck. It had a lot of good reprints in terms of Dragon Link. Like looking at the entire picture, I think that Alba Strike was a very good set. It was a very good product release. I think it is much more than only okay, for sure, because of the meta relevance that it had when it released. You'll see two more structure decks in this list that didn't do so good. It's the same product, but the power level for this and the impact on the market as well. Aluber's hitting $130, $140 at the time. Ghost from the Past 2, it has two things going for it. One is the Ghost Rares, which is a collectible value, which I personally don't really like the rarity at all. But it has a collector's value and a chase value and some sort of excitement when you open the product. That's pretty cool. On the other hand, it had Aluber, the Jester of Despia that we just talked about, that kind of skyrocketed because of the Alba structure deck, and immediately after that revealed as an ultra rare. So it had the Despias, it had the Hulky Fibrex reprint, it also had things like Borland, Rise of the Mega Monarch, stuff like that. It's really hard for me to decide if it's meh or only okay, to be honest. Because now, like, mentioning all of these reprints, it actually makes sense that this might have been like a solid set. But I think that I might place it here between OTS 18 and Battle of Chaos, because it had a lot of good stuff going for it. If you wanted to play Despia at the time, you got Alubers for like $10 after they were $140. So it had some sort of impact. The longevity, I don't know about that. Defo. Dimension Force. Let's see what we have here. We have things like Therions, which definitely hold their own, I think, as a strategy. Therions and Punks, at that time, we saw them at top tables at YCS's. ABC Therion, it had that going for it. New Alba's Fusion Monster, which is always great. Visa Starfrost, and Beyond the Pendulum. The Beyond the Pendulum, we're seeing the effect of this card right now. So it had that going for it. Psychic End Punisher, Scareclaws, which were also pretty good. It had Branded Banishment, which was a very good support card. And it had one more important thing, Deer Note. It had no Punk Deer Note, which was the thing that actually led to Punks being very, very playable. Considering all of these, this might actually go here, right? It made Punks really playable. Therions were introduced. Branded got a boost. Illegal Knight was released. Psychic End Punisher. Pretty good set. It's pretty good. It's only okay, I think, in the grand scheme of things. It may actually jump up to very good. I don't know. Moving on, OTS Tournament Pack 19. Skill Drain, Water and Trenches of the Temple, Fallen Valbas as ultimate rares. Those are very good in my opinion. Held their value, not so much. Between 20 and 30 bucks, the whole thing. But we had things like Caius for past formats. We had Forbidden Chalice. We had Fairy Tale Snow as a common and Red Reboot as a common. Lone Fire Blossom, Strudo. I think it might go into the meh. I think the cards don't really hold value. And the support is sort of weird because we had Snow and Reboot banned like months after, like a few months after the set releases. I think we're gonna leave it at meh for now. Another pretty meh set. Is it meh or trash? That's the question. Duels from the Deep. It had two things going for it. One of them being Forbidden Droplet. That I think the only link to this set is that it's a droplet and it's liquid and the set is about water. The other two things that it had were Marincess and all the fish stuff, the Macro Tsunami stuff. We have seen Marincess topping events. We've seen the fish stuff in feature matches. I think that was more of a meme, but I think Marincess was the more impactful one. And I think this is why it will be in meh and not trash. Just the fact that Marincess was in it, I think prevents it from being completely trash. Even though it's trash, I kind of want Hidden Arsenal to be in its own spot. Legendary Duelists, Season 3. So this concludes the previous wave of the Legendary Duelist sets. I think it includes 5 and 6, which were Predaplant stuff, the Yami Bakura, I think, and the Yugi stuff with the heroes and the magicians. So as I was saying, the set had a few things for it. It had Synchrons, heroes, Predaplants. It had some Necrofear and final stuff, magicians, which were pretty good. Apprentice Magician, we had Magician Souls, which was huge at the time. Actually spiked up. I bought this in a pre-sale for like 10 bucks. It jumps, and it still is around 30-35 bucks. It had Xiaogan the Spiritualist. I think this set did absolutely nothing. And it will go in the meh. Question is it actually better than Legendary Duelist Season 9, Duels from the Deep? But I think this goes in the meh. I think it will go above Legendary Duelist 9. Power of the Elements. Wait, 95% of you are not subscribed? Come on, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you are new for more awesome content. So this was the beginning of absolute bangers from Konami. Absolute bangers from August forward. Power of the Elements introduces two main archetypes, which are Tearlaments and Sprite. Sprite being considered at the time the better one of the two. But eventually, we have learned that Sprite wasn't actually the best deck, and Tearlament's Danger was the best deck at the time. Besides that, of course, we have the Sprites, the Tearlaments. This deck has amazing value. It introduces a new, very important monster for Exosisters that makes the deck actually playable. Ultimate Slayer, Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, which is a TCG exclusive that is a ban-worthy card in my opinion. It had the Goaties, or the fish, if you want to call it that. Vernisylphs, which have been seeing a little bit more play with Naturia. And some more Scareclaw support. And Mathmech Circular, which also has seen a lot of play. I think it has a lot more stuff. Punk support, Dragon support, Rika support. This is easily a god tier set, and it's easily above the Grand Creators, even though Grand Creators are actually amazing. The pure value of the set, every card is good. Every box has bangers. I remember opening mine. It was insane. Every box was a god box. So God, I don't think there's any discussion about it being god tier. Next up, we have Tactical Masters. So Tactical Masters has a few things in it. It had Valence, which is a pendulum archetype. It has Labyrinth, which is a trap archetype based around fiends, and it has Runic. So when this set releases, I tell my friends that I just bought a Runic core from tier0games.com using code GALZO5 for, I think it was around $160 or $170, something like that, for the whole core. 3 field spell, 3 tip, 3 Hugin, everything at 3. I was like, I've seen replays of this deck. It's kind of nuts. I kind of want to have it. It's pretty funny. I'm buying that shit. So I did. A few weeks later, Runic Sprite begins to sort of like rise in popularity. Ends up taking a YCS with Joshua Schmidt at Dortmund. And I think that Runics have the greatest potential to bounce back after tier gets hit to the ground. Whenever that happens. If we ever are at the day after, then that's what it's going to be. Valence suck and will suck continuously. And Labyrinth gets more support in Photon Hypernova. So I think very good is solid here. I think it will be below Alba Strike because at the time it released, the set was more meta-defining than Tactical Masters. 2022 Tins. Very contentious, very top-heavy set. It had a lot of nice stuff going for it. Prosperity Dragoon, Shifter Nibiru, Ash Blossom, all the girls getting an upgrade or a reprint. Dark Ruler No More, a lot of branded stuff. Forbidden Droplet, DPE, Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, which was a huge new card introduced. Kit as a secret diviner, Crossout getting another print. It had a lot going for it. However, I think the value of the set is the problem because you will pull the nuts, but the nuts is very top heavy. I think that the reprints are great. They managed to lower the price of things like Lightning Storm, Droplet, Dragoon obviously, DPE obviously, things like that. But it didn't end up making enough of a dent on Yu-Gi-Oh! In my opinion. I think that the year before was a little bit better. And also, I'm kind of mad about the Sword Soul stuff. I didn't want to pick up a Sword Soul core, but it didn't make sense to postpone Sword Soul to a different set, in my opinion. I think it was a cash grab, but it was a good set, very top heavy. You only have to pull like secrets, make your money's worth. I think that's why it's the top of only okay. Crystal Revenge had Ash Blossom, Shifter, Metaverse. It's definitely in the only okay. It's a good deck. It's a good support system for a deck that can run it using Floodgates, Necro Valley, Mystic Mine, Rest in Peace, Zeus, you know, with the what are they called? Zodiacs. It will definitely be in the only okay, and it will probably be here. It's solid, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest. OTS 20 is only okay, I believe. I don't think it's very good. Is it? Ray, Aluber, Winter Cherries. Okay. Noted. These are pretty good. Ray is awesome. Aluber, I'm not going to complain. And we got Herald, Beaver, Necomane King, Turia Sacred Tree. Those are the big ones. King of the Swamp, lowering down the price by a lot. Dweller, super important. I think as an OTS, it's very good. I think it's very good as an OTS. It might be something like this. I know it's weird to include OTS here. If you want, you can put an asterisk above them, sort of like ignore them, because it's you can't compare an OTS to a structure, to a core set, to a collector's edition item. But I think it's only okay. Darkwing Blast. I don't think it's hard to understand why the set is amazing, and sometimes I say that this might be the best set of the year overall. We have new Sprite and tier limit support that took both decks to the next level. Double Cross and Sprint, allowing you to, you know, fill that gap that Ronin Totem left very, very well. You can now Toad 3 times per turn, which is insane. You have Sprint for tier, which is also as good for tier, if not better, and you have Rule Kalos, which is sort of like the main engine of the deck, and it's why people stopped playing Nibiru, because they were playing Nibiru against Tyr. You have more Labyrinth support, Blackwing support, you have Kashtiras that are going to be very, very valuable come Photon Hypernova, and if you'll go and look at the prices right now, you'll see that everything is rising. And another small thing, Bestials. Maybe the best cards printed this year, maybe ever in this context. I think this is a god tier set, and I would personally say that for longevity, it's not a good value set like Power of the Elements. Power of the Elements, you open it, everything is cracked. I forgot Naturias. The Naturia support, we didn't have a Shizu. That was the top tier deck, by the way. A lot of other stuff. We have Draco Slayers coming back. We have Spellbound, which didn't really see a lot of play. We have more Vernisylph support. More Goaty support. We have Wallow, a super rare that is making waves. Branded Beast. And of course, the Bestial package, like I mentioned. There is a lot of very good things here. Tier Limit Scream is a common. This card is nuts. In my opinion, this set is currently the best set of the year up until this point. Magnificent Mavens. What did we have in Magnificent Mavens? Let us remember. Walk down memory lane. So this set introduces support for existing archetypes. Sky Strikers getting new cards. Mayakashi getting new cards. And Witchcrafters getting new cards. This is similar to the Secret Shiny box released like a year and a half ago that I did open on the channel on the OCG, in the OCG, including the actual sleeves that were there. They included it in this product. But this product did two other things that were really, really good. It managed to lower the price on a lot of important staples by a lot while keeping them in ultra rare and introducing a Shizu, which obviously brought us into a new tier 0 period. We have things like Evenly Matched, Triple Tactic Talent, Lightning Storm, Infinite Impermanence, Harpy's Feather Duster, Black Luster Soldier of Chaos, Appaloosa, an entire Sword Soul core, Skill Drain, Change of Heart, totally awesome. IDP, we have Ecclesia again, Goes in Match, we have Boral Sword, Chaos Hunter, Ents, Millennium Eyes, Mizuki, Secret Village, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Traptrix Sira, Instant Fusion, Yatagarasu, Nightmares, Anti-Spell. Everything on this list is bonkers. And in addition to that, we have 4 cards called Kelbeck, Medora, Keldo, and Agido. I think this definitely deserves to be in the god tier. The question is where? I would say here. I think the overall value as a product, this is the best product to buy. If I would tell you to buy one product, I would tell you to buy Magnificent Mavens for sure, 100%. In terms of meta-defining set, check. Value, check. Longevity, we'll see. It has a lot of staples though, so I mean, Imperm, Tactics, Lightning Storm not going anywhere. Easy god tier. Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge is here. Not a good set at all. Access Code Talker, Boral Sword, the goddess thing, the Artemis, the Selene, Chaos Space, Fusion Destiny. But very short printed, very low value, and opening a box is just like losing $50 immediately. You're not getting anything back unless you pull a Starlight. A meh. Dark World Structure Deck just released. That was the last product of the year. Next product is Amazing Defenders. It's in January 2023. I think that Dark World should be the last one in Only OK for now. It released today, so you don't really know like if there's a tournament soon with this list, with this deck topping. So I'm gonna keep it in the middle, like the last thing in Only OK. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Didn't do a lot in the OCG. Just now starting to see the fusion, the Overlord, going into Tier Limits decks along with King of the Swamp to summon it. I don't know yet. So we're just gonna keep it at that. this has been fun. This has been really fun. This year has been great for Yu-Gi-Oh! You can see that kind of narrowed down to the end with a lot of really good products. I really want you guys to let me know what you thought about this list. And what is your god tier product if you have to choose one? Mine is Darkwing Blast. Mama, close second. Really close second. But I really want to hear your thoughts. So leave them down in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up in the video. Subscribe if you're new as always. And if you want to buy any of these products, go to tier0games.com. Use code GALZO5. And if you like the channel and want to support it further, we have memberships now. You get awesome Dogmatica badges, emotes, exclusive chats, exclusive live streams. Check it out if you're interested. Thank you so much. This has been a long video. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.